Sa. Top of the morning to you, buddy. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, good morning. Very good.
Good.
Feeling good today.
Yeah, today we've got in our podcast, let's start off. We're going to do a mengelmoes, English, Afrikaans. Let's just get that out of the way, right?
'n bietjie Afrikaans praat, so ons kan 'n bietjie mengelmoes.
'n mengelmoes gooi. Ek het jou laas nag gehoor.
As ek vloek kan ek Afrikaans lekker praat.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it. A South African local legend, man, mag ek sê 'n legendariese musikant, gitarist, mondfluitjiespeler. Is there an instrument that you don't play, Greg?
I mean, I can play bass guitar. I've never really messed around for long enough on the drums, but I can hold a groove. But really, my instruments are piano and acoustic.
All right,
I'm a rhythm guitarist.
I got you that right.
I got to keep the band on time.
Well, starting off,
drummer.
it's great to have you. Yeah, how's your morning doing after that show that you did last night? That high energy show last night.
Yeah, good. I actually feel great. I can feel my voice is a little tired, but that's par for the course. It happens.
Dit is deel van die besering.
Yeah.
Elke sport het sy besering. Where to start, man? If I'm thinking about, I grew up with your music, listening to your songs, and I think it's a proper way to go back to your early days and, you know, starting your band and the early days. And when did you decide you wanted to be a magician? Not a magician, a musician.
That's it, yeah. It sort of feels like one and the same sometimes. So I studied teaching, and
Really
I became
now?
a school teacher.
When was this now?
So this was sort of late 90s.
Late 90s.
Yeah. So I studied, qualified. I then taught for 2 years. And during that time of teaching, I started, I always knew I could play music. We've got a lot of music on both sides of my family. Everyone plays music. I then picked up the guitar. So I was sort of quite a late learner.
Okay.
Taught myself how to play. And then I figured that I could work out chords very easily and I could sing over those chords. So then started listening to the radio and writing out song lyrics of my favorite songs, and then started playing in pubs and restaurants, doing sort of solo acoustic stuff. And before I knew it, I was earning a lot more money playing in pubs than I was as a teacher.
As a teacher, yeah.
So I went and resigned, and then I pretty much played. I was playing at 1.67 nights a week every night. So that's
a bit intense, actually.
No, it was intense.
That's intense.
And yeah, I loved it. And then wanted to, then decided I would prefer to play my own original music. So I started writing. And you never know if songs are going to work or not.
Or not, yeah. True story.
So just started writing and then started creating the band. And that was pretty much sort of 1999.
Somewhere in the early, beg your pardon, the late 2000s.
Yeah. And then I went into studio in 99 and started recording that first album.
Oh, that's right. And then, Greg, Indigo Girl put you guys on the map. Back in the day, did you really think like that's going to be such a South African anthem and the effect, die impak wat dit gaan hê op ons Suid-Afrikaanse musiek?
Well, it's a song that we would never, I would never have thought Indigo Girl was going to be that big song. And I think for any band to have that one song, you all need that one song that puts you on the map. And there's so many bands that unfortunately don't have that one. And if you get one of those songs, you got to run with it because you never know when it's going to come, know. And so we were. It was never going to be I never thought it was going to be the big hit. We had a couple of songs before Indigo Girl. It was only the fourth or fifth song on radio off that album. We had Shine On Me, we had Angel, In the Meantime, and Yesterday Again were all radio hits before Indigo Girl. But when it happened, it exploded
completely.
Yeah. both here and internationally. And so from having nothing, doing nothing, and just pretty much enjoying playing music. It was just suddenly we were traveling everywhere and had to be at interviews all over the place, and we were in Europe and the UK, and so it was an amazing time.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah, that was mid 2000.
As an artist, the moment you put out your first album, you had a lot of time to get that album into say fondasies and to get it grounded and get it going. And the first album is always like a wow, it's amazing. And then the second album, it's like, oh, maybe not. So, but that's not the case with Watershed. How do you guys constantly bring out albums and it's all hits and it's all wonderful, man? I mean, the time spent on album one, you had years and years and years and building up, and then, I mean, the second album wasn't that many years. So what's your secret? How do you do this, man?
Yeah, look, I think all albums are, obviously some albums are way more successful than others, but I think for us it's really about trying to, if we're putting a batch of songs on together on a record, we want those songs to be the best songs they could possibly be.
And leave a legacy, obviously.
Yes, you want to, when you finish up, you want everyone to go like, all Watershed songs are really cool songs. We're not going to put one big hit on and then throw the rubbish at the rest, So, the second album was interesting. I really enjoyed that album. It was quite a sort of a deeper album lyrically, a different time for me as a writer. So it was I think we had a couple of really good songs on that record as well. But the first one, which came out in 2000, was a big one, and it's hard to, it's pretty difficult to come back after an album like that to try and match it. And the second one didn't match the first one. It was a great album, but it didn't have the sales that the first one had. But it got us sort of solidified there. The big thing for us was the third record, actually. That was the big one.
Growing up, I always thought you were an international band, man. It's like, this can't be South African.
It did happen a lot.
The evolution of Watershed. How do you guys go about writing new songs today? Is it still like in the studio session kind of thing, or how do you work about your creative process? How do you get something out there?
It's I don't so I sort of write and then get the guys into the room and then we work through those songs. So we like to track songs together. So we workshop them and then decide on the best groove, the best guitar lines, the best harmonies, whatever. But it's the process for me is not. I write a lot, but not every day. It's sort of, I sort of view it as like a vessel, which you fill up with information. So you watching things, you seeing things happen, you learning, and all that information goes into the pot.
You stir it up.
and you think about it, and then eventually, when there's enough info in there, it sort of starts overflowing, and that overflow is where you start writing.
Okay.
And so I find I probably write I'll write in a phase of 3-4 days, do 3, 4, 5, 6 songs in a batch.
Wow.
And then I might not write for 6 weeks, might not write for 6 months, and then that
pot slowly fills up again,
and then you write again a whole lot of stuff.
Oh man!
So it's more that type of writing. When you're writing about your own stuff,
yeah.
If you're writing a song for someone or a sort of a commissioned song, then you've got to think out the box.
And you do that.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah. Then if someone says, we want a song about X, Y, and Z, then you write a song about X, Y, and Z. So it's a different, but your brain goes to a different space.
I'm with you. And over the years, as the band, what was your biggest challenges that you had? And how did you work together to push through those challenges?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is age and people's lives. And it's because we all in music. I think that's everyone's passion. We know that. So the only thing that would go wrong is if someone decides to take a turn in their life. They want to immigrate,
Family matters,
family issues, whatever it might be. That will change a band. Excessive touring could impact on a band. And you'll often find that
you've got to be close in situations like that, man.
Exactly, and often you find bands will break up after a big tour.
Handling that conflict is a bit of a dilemma, right?
Yeah, you're with each other all the time, and the band, someone will. I mean, we've had it where someone decides that after 6 weeks on the road and it's just relentless touring, get back and it's like, Craig, listen, I can't do this anymore. And you're like, okay, cool.
Take 2 weeks, come back to me.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I get you, I understand. A couple of months later, how's it? We're touring. Cool, I'm in. When we're leaving.
Selective memory, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it isn't easy, but at the same time, it's hard to figure. But I don't see a band as a democracy. I think we all listen to each other, but there has to be a set plan. There has to be a vision
and a set goal for everybody to go towards.
Yes, we have to do that. If there isn't that, it'll drift.
Well, I had a blast last night at your show, and you guys dropped some new music there as well. Now, so let's bring it. Ons bring dit bietjie terug na die Here toe. What's going on in the world of Watershed? New music? Are you guys going to studio, bringing out a new album, or is it only going to be like enkel snitte, bringing out singles? Spill the beans. Tell us everything, man.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think any band wants to write an album. So I think it's a time in your lives where all those songs are pretty similar in what they might be about. I remember we did a record in 2021, and I think like most bands, quite COVID related, a lot of those sorts of songs, a lot of thinking, why is this happening? People breaking up, people moving, chaos. That's sort of the record. And then things settle down, and then you're in a different headspace, and you start feeling different things. So yes, we are working on a new album. We need a new one. I think we traditionally, Watershed are putting an album out maybe every 4 years. We had a big gap from 2015, 2008. It was the fourth record, and then we only put the fifth one out in 2015. So that was a 7-year break. But I think we're due a new album now. So there's a whole lot of songs, and you were mentioning last night I think we need a ballad.
True, yeah.
We haven't had a ballad for a while, and it's a strong point for Watershed. So I think we'll probably put a ballad out next. And yeah, it's been a nice process. I think we've got enough songs. I think we've sifted through not a lot of songs. As I was talking about the way we write, it's not like hundreds of songs. It's probably 20 songs, and we're going to choose 10 of them. So I think we've got it down. The thing we're trying to figure is how we want the record to sound.
You're actually answering my next question. Please do explain, man.
Yes, yeah.
The look and the feel of it, yeah.
Yeah, so we listen to other music, and we want to see what's happening out there. But at the same time, Watershed, we've got our own sound, and that'll always be a Watershed sound.
I second that completely, yeah.
So I think that's what we can't lose that ever. We don't want to sound like any other band. We've got our own thing, but at the same time, you want to keep up with what's going on.
True story.
So So I think we've got the songs down, and all the guys in the band have studios, so we dot around. If the guys are in Cape Town, we go to a studio there and we work a little bit, and then up in Joburg we go to our guitarist studio or the drummer studio. So we've got music in different studios.
Oh wow!
But we bounce
Between
each
them,
other.
yeah.
But we've got to a point now where we've done enough of that. Now we've got to get into a room together and actually start finishing these songs. So we're pretty excited. I think there's some nice up-tempo stuff. There's some nice ballads. And yeah, I think the band's just in a good space now. So I don't think we'll get the record out this year, but we'll definitely get a single out. And I think, to answer your other question that you were talking about, the releasing singles it seems to be the way to do it. And I think that's because all the algorithms on Spotify and Apple are sort of more accepting of, you put one song out at a time, then that song seems to get more attention. If you put a full album on, the public are going in, they're choosing the one song, and the rest go to waste.
Well, let's be frank, Greg. I mean, at the end of the day, technology has got some form of influence on music and how it gets out there. I mean, Spotify, you said Spotify. So, no, I do understand that, man. And I also think that's half the way to go. But, yeah, moving on beyond life on stage, I mean, you also have family, you've got your own solo career you're focusing on. How do you balance your own life between being at gigs, being in the different stages you just mentioned, home life, and writing songs? And how do you balance that out? What do you do?
Yeah, I think so. There's never pressure. You've got to try and, people talk. So back to the songs, people, the writer's block.
We need a new muse.
Yeah, and so writer's block, I think it just comes about when artists put pressure on themselves, and you can't as a creative, because that's not the thing.
In Afrikaans we say, jy kan dit nie ryp druk nie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you don't push it. If it's not happening, it's not happening, and it doesn't mean you can't do it again, because you know how to write songs. That's one, you've ticked that box. You know you can do it. So if it's not happening, then don't
push
force
it.
Yeah, don't force it. Yeah. So I think it's a lifestyle thing. So I'm originally from, when I was very young, Durban, and then Johannesburg. Pretty much my entire life was Johannesburg. And then 2016 moved to Cape Town. And just the lifestyle there, and it's so we completely get involved in the ocean and surfing and swimming.
A lot more laid back.
Completely laid back, and so writing whenever, touring, when you tour, you tour. When you write music, you write music. When you go for a run in the mountains, it's trying to balance nice things. And I think that generally, I mean, there's a hell of a lot of stress that comes with a band, and with a touring band. So that's ongoing. That's the admin of it, which is every day. So every day there's work to be done. Whether it's trying to work out the numbers on a show or a tour or sponsorships, or it's But the nice part is always there, which is the music and the touring and the guys and laughing and writing, and that's a cool thing. So
I had my eye on you last night before you guys went on stage, man. I mean, you got together as a group, you had a moment there, and then you went on, and I can see the mutual respect between all of you, and I think that's a key part of it as well, to be in a band and keeping the band together. I mean, you guys have been going on for decades now, and if I mention the name Watershed to somebody, they know who they're talking about. And also another thing that I love is having music being separated over decades. you get a constant new flux of new listeners coming out of school, discovering Watershed, and then they've got all these songs from back in the day, and it keeps going forward, and you get the same feel and vibe through. Man, that's absolutely great, and hats off to you guys for that, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's we actually see it in audiences where, like when we started in 2000, our fans were sort of 30 to 40 years old, and they all now in their sort of 50 to 60, but their kids are now 20, 25.
But
so
they're still listening with dad's
yes,
listening. Yeah,
exactly. So we've got now a whole generation that's come through, and that's quite a cool thing. So we love that when we, you go play a venue or a wine farm, and on the lawn you've got grand and grandpa, mom and dad, and the kids, and they're all sitting watching.
Singing along with
All
you,
singing
man.
along,
Yes,
yeah.
that
That's
must
cool.
be real cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Band work versus your solo loopbaan, your solo act. How?
Yeah, so the solo stuff, I actually only put out one solo album, and that was in that gap when I was talking about 2008. The album was called Staring at the Ceiling. And then in 2015, we put out a record called Watch the Rain, we played Watch the Rain last night. That long.
It was nice. It was real nice.
Yeah. So in that break, I went to the UK and wrote an album over there, which was my solo stuff. And in fact, I lied. It wasn't in the UK. It was actually in LA. It was there that I wrote it. I mentioned UK because the guy that produced it, Jamie Hartman, he's from the UK, but he at that time was there. And loved that record. It's called Ordinary Boy, and though I absolutely love the songs on that album, but that's the only solo stuff I did, and it was purely because Watershed was still going. We were still playing, but it didn't feel like there was enough momentum or energy to do a Watershed album. And I just felt I wanted to do a solo thing. But yeah, Watershed carried on. And yeah, just jumped into that and enjoyed it. But shortly after I released that, which was 2013, 2012, 2013, we decided to do another Watershed album. And because of that, the solo stuff that album fell aside. I didn't give it enough attention, not enough marketing, but I think the songs were there.
Yeah, but it's great though. That being said, your creative process in your solo event, in your solo loopbaan, do you feel that creative process spilled over into Watershed? Was there some things that you did there that you feel, okay, cool, let's make it part of the band now?
I think so. I mean, the weird thing is, I think if that solo album was a Watershed album, I think it would have done very well. But because it was solo, and people don't really know Craig Hinds, they know Watershed.
Yeah.
But if we made that a Watershed record,
it would have done great.
Big album, yeah.
And the fans always wants to know what's next. Where you guys touring? What's happening? Question from my side is, are you planning like a collab? I love a collab, man.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Artists are incredibly busy. So, I mean, we've done a few over the years. We worked with Lyra on a beautiful ballad on one of the albums. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Harbour. Was it on Harbour? And then with that band Blackbird, did a song with Taran Lamb. And then, yeah, worked on the Jock the Bushveld movie with Tim Rice. That was quite a cool thing because he wrote the lyrics and I did the music. So that was quite a wow thing. Yeah, collabs are great, but we are, Yeah, we on it. We on it for the next. We're touring. We're planning. We've got a very big December coming up, which is the usual trip. We go right up to Transkei and we travel all the way down back to Cape Town. We're spending a bit of time in KwaZulu-Natal as well. We've done Bloem now, but we've got to be back here.
Oh man, I hope to see you guys real soon.
Yeah, what a cool thing. Yeah, what a cool thing. But yeah, we've got stuff on the go, but we just got to actually knuckle down and finish it. There's too much stuff sitting around in the air now. I think Watershed desperately need a new album now. I feel we feel we need it for ourselves, and I feel the public are wanting something new.
100%, and I feel you guys are still relevant in today, man. And ons almal wag vir daai volgende album. So guys, sit skouer aan die wiel, druk deur al, maak dit seer and release that thing, man.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah, and we'll bring it here first. To MielieFM, we will.
Yeah. I lost my track there. Oh, there, I'm back on it. In. I find that not one person is interesting enough, to know everything and have all the cool sê goede and what have you. And we all as humans, we take a little bit part of here and take a little bit of part of there, and we form something, and I reckon that's also part of your creative process and all that. But I was sitting down with a guy called Mark Amarodakis. He's from a band called Tritones, and you were a teacher before. Hy's 'n prof hierso by die universiteit.
Okay.
En hy doen filosofie. Sy vrou ook. So jy kan nogals dink wat se gesprekke het hulle in die aande. And he and he said something to me, and I stole this from him, and it changed my perspective a little bit. He says, yeah, you know what, we're writing music now, and we're enjoying it, and we're going out, and we're bringing out albums, but at the end of the day, we're all gonna die someday, right? And then their focus is on to leave a legacy. Now, you guys started off some time ago, and you've brought out a couple of albums with music that still is relevant today, like I said earlier. With songs back like Indigo Girl and all that, and it's formed part of the South African culture, like we earlier said. As ek vir iemand sê Watershed, dan weet hulle wie's Watershed. And how do you feel about leaving that legacy behind?
Yeah, it's. I suppose you don't really think about it because you're sort of still in it, and you'll never really know about it. I suppose you, because it'll only really become that once you die. So we sort of caught up in it, and it's just something that we do. That's what you do. You write songs. I suppose the cool thing is that, as you say, there's a body of work that people can go through, and there's so many songs that will forever be on radio. I was talking about a song called Yesterday Again, which you can hear it now 25 years after the fact, and it sounds as relevant as it did 25 years ago on radio. It still works, and I think that for me is a cool thing when a song has a life. It's not a song that comes onto the radar for 2 months and then it vanishes.
Hit wonder and then it's gone, right?
It's gone. Yeah, you want to try and keep up a standard of work that, as you say, you recognize it because of the sound, because of the way the songs are written, the way they're produced. It's something that is relevant from top to bottom. So everything and becomes so solid and heavy that you sort of can't forget it. So I mean, people have spoken about that legacy that that we've had, that body of work that would form a legacy. It's a nice thing to know.
It's a lekker gevoel ook.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But it's something that I don't think you think about. It's just happened. It's there now. And that's nice. I think if you, I suppose people want to have a legacy because we don't really know what happens afterwards. But if there is something that someone will remember you by, that's cool.
Yeah, that's nice. If you could travel back in time and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Sure. I mean, I think about, we super proudly South African, and we said that from the beginning that we want to live here. We don't want to live anywhere else.
And you've been abroad now.
Yeah, so we've traveled, so we've toured, but we always come home, but when I think back on the early times and that very early success, with songs like Indigo Girl and Letters and those tunes, if you sort of feel like, so we've had great success in South Africa, we've had great success in Germany, sort of those Austria, Switzerland areas. I suppose if you wanted to put Watershed on a more global stage, the only way it would have happened was if we actually relocated and lived in the States or lived in the UK, where you can actually get traction
and travel and do gigs and all that.
And actually get into their music system. And I feel that there might have been a lot more for Watershed if we made that move early. But having said that, I have no regrets on
staying in South Africa,
on what we chose to do. But that would be one thing. That is one thing that I think about. I think if we did in the mid 2000s move to New York and literally travel and tour the States, I think there might have been a different story. But as I say, there are no regrets.
Quite cool. So no regrets, no advice, nothing. Happiness with where you guys are and the progression of things to where we are now.
I think trying to keep up with the industry is quite tricky. It moves at such a rate.
It's like the cloud. Nobody knows how it works, man. No one.
it's like I'm out. Like I sometimes said, we chat to our social media. I mean, so we're an older band, so we were selling CDs.
Back in the day, man, ripping CDs and all that as well.
Yeah, it was the greatest thing. You get the CD and you sign. People buy them at shows. You sign them. These are the songs. You put it in your car. You listen to 10 Watershed songs from top to bottom. People knew all the songs. Nowadays, you put out 10 songs, they only know one because they've got taken one of your songs and put it in a playlist of another 1,000 songs. So you lose out on a whole lot of stuff. But that trying to keep up with this industry is I was saying, our social media person, for us, social media is not a big thing because we were so used to the way it used to be marketed and the way it worked. But we have to try and change, and we spend our lives trying to figure out how it all works. What we're good at is music. We write songs. And that's what we're good at.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to be a social media
guru, agent doing a wada and this. No, you get people to do that.
Yeah, they got to do that. So I suppose that makes it, tricky and difficult. For me to do a post takes me half an hour. I'm like, I can write a song in half an hour, but now I've got to create some post for a show. And it's just...
Life changes, man.
Crazy,
Life changes.
Yeah.
Okay, quick, rapid questions. You ready?
Yes.
All right, cool. First one. Which one of Watershed's songs are you most proud of?
I always say that my favorite Watershed song is "Close My Eyes."
Close My Eyes.
Yeah,
that is a nice one.
Yeah, I think so.
A nice one.
I just love the idea of the song. I know we play it quite differently now to the original, with the recorded one. But every time I play it, I love playing it. Yeah.
And then number next, one non-Watershed song. One non-Watershed song. That's a tongue twister. I dare you say that 3 times fast. One non-Watershed song. That always finds its way on your playlist,
song.
Man. Sorry, man.
That's cool. I love that. unknown Watershed song.
Right, you see what I mean, right?
That's on my playlist.
That always finds your way onto your playlist, yeah.
Yes, so I will do that. The Boys of Summer by Don Henley.
Oh, that's a nice one. That is as well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that gives me cold shivers every time I play it.
A venue played anywhere in the world that still gives you goosebumps.
Kirstenbosch, Cape Town.
Kirstenbosch.
Nice. Paul Kluwer, Cape Town as well. But having said that, I got goosebumps last night.
Hey, man, me too.
Great gig. Yeah.
And then my closing questions that I always ask all my artists that sit here. Number one, do you have like a secret ritual that you need to do before you walk onto the stage? Otherwise, the event's going to be like, oh no, something's going to break or anything.
No, I wouldn't say it's a ritual, but it's definitely. I know that it's literally 2 or 3 minutes just before, just to try and just clear your head of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't manage to, it's often just that walk from the stairs to the mic. You almost switch to a different thing. Then you know you're on stage for 2 hours, and that's what it is. That's what you're doing.
And it was 2 hours, man. We had a blast last night. Yeah.
Kept on coming back and back and back. Yeah, that's cool. I loved it. Yeah, no, it was a very cool, nice crowd. And
if you can give one piece of advice to an upcoming band or solo artist or anything, I mean, you guys coming from decades of success and albums releasing and songs coming out, what would that one piece of advice be?
I think we touched on it earlier, and that's not to... things must evolve naturally.
Naturally, yeah.
Don't put yourself under pressure. You know, if you've got it, if you know you can do it, then do it when it feels right, because the listener out there is going to know
it's going to pick up on that
when you're trying too hard. If you're trying to create something that isn't you, if you're trying to write lyrics that aren't you, that where it sounds contrived, it sounds like it's being thought too hard, then it won't really work. It's just got to be natural.
And come from the heart and be part of you.
Yes, and that's when the people will pick up that it's real.
I'm with you, man.
So I think that's the...
Closing thoughts. Anything that I did not touch upon that is important to know? Anything you'd like to add? Any closing thoughts?
No, it's just been a great chat, and it's always nice to talk like this, because you know it makes you think of where you've come from and things you've done, and it's quite a cool. I often say that if someone says, "Wow, it's been 25 years of Watershed," it feels like a complete blur. But if you say, "Can you remember on the 16th of February 2008, there was a show in Durban, and I met you there, or it was at this venue," you'll remember that exact show. You know, so if you go in and focus on the 25 years, pinpoint everything, you remember it all. But just as just viewing the whole 25 years, it does feel like a blur, but it feels like it's gone incredibly quickly. But I feel that Watershed is in a very strong place at the moment, and I think from a writing perspective and a performance perspective. So I think we're looking forward to another, I wouldn't say 25 years.
No, hopefully.
But a good many more years of Watershed.
25 years is a lifetime. It really is. It is. And there's a lot that happened. And that being said, dude, I hope you all the best. Ek wens julle alles van die beste toe. And release that album, man. We want it. We really, really want it. So, asseblief, kom in die album, of kom in die studio in, ekskuus tog, en kry daai goed uit, and man, know you got the whole of South Africa behind you. And just keep that in mind, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll get it out there and get it to you as soon as we can.
Love it, Greg. Thank you very much for joining us, man. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for your presence and just being the person that you are and the music that you make. There's a lot of things, I reckon, that you don't know the influence that your songs have on people in hard and even in good times. So Yeah, man. Thank you for that, buddy. And
Thank you very much.
might be good.
Yeah, feels good. Thank you.
Dankie baie.